Hey everyone, I wanted to share with you a time-limited opportunity that we have put together due to demand from our clients. If you are interested in building your firm and your personal brand for the long term, becoming a published author is probably the most effective way to do this. But most people don't have the time and energy to manage the entire publishing process, which involves all of the research, all of the trial and error, all of the dead ends, and all of the pain. So to help our clients because they asked for it, we launched a new program called Experts Published Author Program, intended to help our clients become published authors with a very small and a very limited time investment. In fact, if you write a chapter, we will get you published. Email support@firmsconsulting.com asking for more information about the Experts Published Author Program. The deadline for applications is the end of this week. That's right, the deadline for applications is the end of this week. So if you're thinking about building your personal brand for the future and think of all the benefits that will bring, or if you want to build your personal brand to help your business, now is the time to write to us at support@firmsconsulting.com. Hi everyone, it's Michael again. In today's episode about our publishing program, I want to answer the reader question where they ask, I'm not sure there's a return on investment. Well, it's a statement, but they pose it as a question. Okay, the good question, right? Probably the most important one here because we're all doing this to achieve an outcome. If we know return on investment is net gain divided by net cost. So what is the net gain in financial terms, non-financial terms to you of publishing a book or a chapter divided by net cost? Let's break this down because it's not a difficult question to answer. The first thing I want to point out is that your return is not going to come from book sales. If you are writing a book that's going to generate a lot of money for you from book sales, then it's a very bad strategy. It's the worst way and worst reason to write a book, because what happens is a book almost always doesn't make a lot of money. It makes very little money. If you look at all the effort to publish it, it loses money. But what a book does do is it leads you to opportunities that generate a significant amount of money for you, right? And that's how you have to think about this. So a book does three things for you. I want you to think about how you find opportunities today, whether it's your own company or within your industry. Well, the most common way is you'll set up a lot of coffee meetings, right? You'll reach out to people on LinkedIn and so on. People within your companies, you'll email them and say, hey, Mike, I heard, there's an opening in the product management team here. So do you mind if we get coffee? So you arrange coffee, which you have to pay for. Mike doesn't want to go for coffee. He knows you want a job in his team. He doesn't think you're that good because if he thought you were good, you wouldn't have to ask him for the job. He would have come to you in the first place. So you go to Mike, you sit down, you speak to him. It's very awkward because he knows why you're there. You know why you're there. You have to pretend you just want to, be friends with Mike, and then you talk about the role. It's like a mini job interview. You've got to, push yourself forward. You've got to explain everything you've done. Mike's not paying any attention. You can see he's a little bit bemused. He looks like he doesn't want to be there. Because he looks like he doesn't want to be there, it affects the way you deliver your pitch of why you're the best person in the world. And you're basically trying to sell yourself, and it gets very tiring very fast, because how many times can you do that before you get so demoralized, so disappointed? And if you do that 5 times, right, that's 5 coffee breaks, 5 setups, 5 reminding people, 5 reschedules, 5 disappointments. Before long, you're probably thinking that maybe I have nothing to add here. But maybe you do have a lot to add. It is just a mechanism you are using to present yourself. So what a book does is it's a filter, but it's also a sales tool. First, it's a filter whereby people read about you. They know who you are. They know what you can think about. They know what you're capable of. And they choose to meet you. And that meeting is not about you proving yourself and explaining why you're there, but they're sincerely interested because they've been self-selected. They've been pre-qualified. So within your own organization, just think about the amount of time and what it's worth to you if a chapter or a book could do that. So I want you to think about that. Imagine your own job hunting, what's happening right now in your career, looking for good opportunities. Imagine if a chapter or a book could do that. I think you would say it's worth it, considering the effort you would need to put in to publish that. It's not difficult, right? The system we have is pretty easy. The other signal you send by publishing is you're ambitious. Because most people will not do more than is required of them to get a salary. That's the sad fact. I work with many clients all over the world, from junior but now mostly senior clients. Even senior clients, they'll just do enough to get a salary and their stock options and a very big golden parachute. But when you publish, you send a very clear signal to people that, you know what, you're not like everyone else, you're ambitious. You're trying to meet clients, you're trying to impress clients. And think of your team, right? They're trying to meet clients, they're trying to impress clients. Think of your manager, he's got clients. But imagine if he's got someone on his team that's published a book. Clients pay more for team members like that. People will put you on their team because they look good by having someone like you on their team. It gives your manager, it gives your partners, it gives your leadership a reason to say the team is special because you're on the team. Think about all the time you will save. Think about all the opportunities that will come your way, right? The other benefit is that you break the physical proximity paradox. No matter what people say, you are limited by who you know and who you can meet physically. Even if you can email someone, you have to go out and email them. You have to find out who they are. But a book allows people to come to you. Now, I want to ask you this question. What is it worth to you if 10 new clients wrote to you? Just wrote to you. Maybe they don't buy from you immediately, but you build this relationship and you learn from them things you didn't know they needed, which made you a better consultant. What is the benefit to you of one promotion? What is the benefit to you of not a promotion, but being put onto the crown jewel client for the most important project? For the firm to work with a very, very important manager, partner, whatever it is, and you know they're going to train you. Now, I've covered a few benefits here, but I think we can see the return is clearly there, right? But you break the cycle whereby you are relying on referrals. You don't have to rely on referrals. You can get to clients directly. What are the other benefits? In today's world, there are a lot of MBAs. In today's world, there are a lot of people who work at elite firms. There are a lot of people who work at the major tech companies, a lot of people who went to the right schools. But how many people have set themselves a standard and have raised themselves to that standard whereby they're published in a book? And you got to ask yourself, how do you hire people? Do you hire people by just saying, look, I want a Harvard MBA who worked at Goldman Sachs. I want a Harvard MBA who worked at McKinsey. There are some people who do that. But smart people who have actually managed things and know how the world works, they know it doesn't matter where you study. They want the best. You have to find a way to differentiate yourself. You've got to be different. You can't just be someone who went to the school. You have to be Peter, who is an expert in X. Amy, who is an expert in Y. Shalpan, who is an expert in Z. Rajit was an expert in A. So, when you are young, you can propel your career forward significantly by doing an MBA and joining the right company. But not many people can do an MBA at a good school and join the right company. So you can write a book, write a chapter. As you get older, it's almost impossible to do things to radically change your career. Think about it. What can you do when you are 35 or 40? You've got family members you're taking care of. You've got kids going to university. You can't leave your company to do an MBA. It's $250,000 gone. You can't easily get a new role in a new industry to change your life. But a book allows you to do that. So I've given you some examples, and all I can say is just one of those things is worth the return investment, but you can see that you can have all of these things. And that's how you need to think about it.